And as you can see, there's no line fuse in it for overcurrent protection. So we're going to put a line fuse in it for overcurrent protection. Here is your typical house fuse. See how big the filament is there? That's a 20 amp. And there's a 15 amp typical house fuse. There you go. See how thick that filament is? So here is the one that we're going to be putting inside the cassette deck. See how tiny that filament is? If something were to go wrong in the circuitry, it will burn the filament in this small fuse before it burns the filament in these two bigger fuses. And while it's trying to burn the filament in these two bigger fuses, it could cause a lot of damage to the unit inside and burn the power transformer and possibly start the house on fire. So we're going to put this fuse in. But before you make any alterations with your stereo equipment, contact an authorized service center. Okay, so we'll take our drill here and we'll see where this will fit. It will fit right in here perfectly. We'll drill a hole about right here. Notice how it's going to look on there. It's going to look nice. So we will get rid of this little we'll pull this wire back. And we'll cut this little cap off here. Okay, I'll take my sandpaper and we'll just rough this up a little here so we get a better solder there. Same thing on this side. We'll use our rosin core or rosin flux. Okay, I'm going to be using a brand new soldering iron here. It's not a Weller, so I'm not sure how well it's going to work, but we will find out. So I stripped that with the 18 gauge hole. Twist my strands together. I'll put some flux on it here. And I'll use the solder I put on the iron to tin it to see how well it tins the wire. Well, it tinned that wire pretty good. And I'll strip this other one here. And I'll twist the strands together again. I'll get some flux on the wire. And I'll tin it with the iron again, like I did the other one. So we'll try soldering this and see how it comes out. Bend down here. Oh, I gotta clean my tip. Okay, I cleaned my tip. I'm going to put some solder on my tip here. I'm going to dip this in the flux. Put some flux where I'm going to be soldering. Okay, and I'll bend that down, curl that up a little bit, and I'll drop solder it. It's a nice big wide tip. Boy, I like how nice that solder joint came out. Isn't that cool a bit? Okay, I'll go ahead and put some flux on this side. I'll put my wire into the hole. I'll use my pliers. I'll bend that down, bend that up a little bit, push it down a little bit more. Now this is in kind of a tight spot here, so I'm going to put some solder on my iron there. Careful not to burn anything. And to adjust it some. So I put a little more flux on it there. Guess we're going to need some more solder. So I'm going to put more flux. More solder on my iron. That wire's right where I want it. So I'm just going to hold it like that. Oh, shit. But you know what? It doesn't pay to get mad and throw things and destroy things. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start right from ground zero and do it again. I'm going to use my pliers, straighten this out. Use my solder pump. Pump my hole out. I'm going to put more flux on here again. I'll put some on the bottom. I'm going to put the wire in. I'll squeeze it down again with the pliers. I'll put more solder on my iron there. And there we go. We have a nice clean solder joint. However, it's a little shallow, so I'll take and put some more solder on my iron. I'll just put a little more flux on here. There, now there we go. Now it's just the way I like it. Let that cool. Okay, so we got a good solder joint here, and a good solder joint here, and that can be mounted right there. Okay, I can take a little alcohol here and put it on this here, and I can just clean that flux right off there nice. See how nice and clean that is? I'll clean the bottom off. So there's the bottom of both solder joints, and there's the top with all the flux and everything all removed off of it. I might even be able to scrape a little bit off that's not coming off with the alcohol. See how nice and clean that is there? Nice full solder joint. Same with on this side. I scraped off all the flux, and see how nice and filled that solder joint is there. There's a real good close-up of it. Okay, so now we're ready to mount our block into place. Put the screw through the back here, bring it over, push the wire down that's going to the power transformer. I finished separating these two wires down below here. Bring this one over and push it down behind the transformer. There, now we can put these two back inside this, like that was from the factory. Put this down. I'll make sure my block's all nice and straight. Snug it up. Okay, so now we can snap our 1/2 amp fuse in here. And now the unit is protected. Let's take a look inside there. And I'll let you see the front of the unit. And thanks for watching.